This is your gaming weekly news. Outer Worlds 2 got some more gameplay, and this time they concentrated on showing us what the gunplay will be. And the guns look absolutely fantastic. The first time I saw this, it reminded me of Borderlands and actually got me in the mood for the upcoming Borderlands 4. Now, people that might not be Borderlands fans but are still excited about an RPG that's Fallout-like or just like the Outer Worlds 1 have a lot to look forward to with these brand new guns. Here you're looking at gameplay footage that I put together from the original trailer and what they've shown with IGN first. Obsidian Entertainment explained they want the satisfying feel of gunplay with the stacked RPG mechanics on top. This also includes a higher variety of distinct weapons. And the reload animations, the fire rate, damage output, and recoil make a huge difference in how gunplay feels. They showed us an interesting gun that shoots out decoys that put out small little advertisements for corporate slogans and also can be mind-controlled, exploded on enemies. And this is just the very start of the guns that they've shown, with one of the big showcases being Outer Worlds 2's own BFG gun, the Big Bang. This gun shoots out a rare ammo type that fires a huge singularity and can be used sparingly to destroy tons of enemies. Another great gun that I immediately fell in love with was the Bolt Blender. This is a gun like a junk jet from Fallout 3 where you can dump different types of ammo types, and depending on what ammo you just automatically load in, it'll shoot shock or explosive, and there's going to be a ton of creativity with this weapon. It fires like crazy with massive recoil, and it looks crazy with a bucket opening where you just drop in your ammo and just lay waste on enemies. This really does give you a feel of a mix of Borderlands and Fallout with the unique sci-fi that only comes from Obsidian's Outer Worlds. IGN was given footage of the game, and it really only amounts to a few minutes at a time for these interviews, but putting it all together, it looks so impressive. I can't wait to use some of these guns like the assault rifle, the bolt pistol, and so much more. But the icing on the cake was the triple barrel shotgun. This looks absolutely insane. It's a triple over-under side-by-side shotgun, and we haven't seen something like this since Bulletstorm. They haven't even talked about melee weapons, and I'm assuming that's coming later as they show more mechanics of the game, but Outer Worlds just looks better and better, and I have a feeling we're gonna see some really great stuff really soon, and I don't think we're gonna wait long to get to play Outer Worlds 2. Of course, we're going to see more of Outer Worlds 2 when we get the breakdown at the Direct just after the showcase in about 5 weeks, and I can't wait to play this game. Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered got its full reveal on Tuesday, and it was a major hit right off the bat. One of gaming's worst secrets, but boy, did that reveal pay off. Right now, there are 130,000 concurrent playing on Steam, with a peak of almost 200,000 players on Steam. And I'm saying on Steam because Oblivion Remaster is available on PC Game Pass, Xbox Series S and X Game Pass, available to purchase on both of those platforms. It's also available on the PlayStation 5. So there are a ton of people talking about how this 20-year-old game got brought to life, and I've already put in well over 15 hours, and I'm completely hooked. I played a ton of Skyrim back in the day at launch, and then I bought it 3 different times, but digging into this brand new game, it feels like I'm playing an Elder Scrolls game that was hidden and locked away or just secretly got made, and I'm really happy with some of the changes, and I'm really enjoying it, except I'm missing some of those key things that I thought would be there that I'm used to from an old game like Skyrim. Oblivion has been such a great game to play and talk about with all of my friends who back in the day spent hundreds of hours, and I'm getting to discover it for the first time. The graphics update that they did in Unreal Engine 5 is really an interesting one in a lot of good and bad ways. First of all, the game was really dusty and crusty and old looking when I played it on the Xbox Series X through Back and Pat. I'm playing the Xbox 360 version there. I'd only played it for a couple hours just when this rumor was getting super hot. But the graphics overhaul is such a sight to behold. And I think what they did was they took the Gamebryo engine, which built that in 2006, and they replaced all of the models and textures and assets and everything to make it look really great using Unreal Engine 5, but they just draped it over the old Gamebryo engine, which would really be Creation Engine minus 0.1 or something, but you still get that great feel of what that game used to be with some improvements. And some of the improvements that they did really helped, like camera and third person and some of the melee animations, sound effects. The facial animations are really great. A generated lip syncing really lends to a more modern feel. Even though Bethesda didn't do the full remaster, you can feel the love and care and attention of bringing this game to life, and it is absolutely going to be another great hit for Xbox right now. And some are even wondering if Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, which personally I think is just almost a remake. It's kind of humbling that they just called it a remaster because it's almost there. It's almost a full remake. Could Oblivion be considered for Game of the Year? Because back in the day, that game was a 94 out of 100 when it was scored on Metacritic. And this game is just all of that and more. But Unreal Engine 5 also brings with that some performance issues, and I'm on a really great PC that I'm playing on, a 4080 Super. I've got a Ryzen 7 CPU, 64 gigs of RAM, everything that you need to run games however you'd want, but I'm still seeing stuttering and some lower frame rates, and ray tracing on or off can cause problems with performance, but it's not just PC. It's really an Unreal Engine 5 problem because according to Modern Vintage Gamer, who breaks down a lot of tech new and old, said that even on the PS5 Pro, the game runs like, of course, just like anything else, they'll have to patch that, and in a couple of weeks' time, we'll get a performance patch and things will kind of get ironed out, but that's the way it is. Things are always getting patched after the fact, and I really wish that teams would get all this stuff ironed out because I know they're playing them. They're seeing the frame drops before they ship games, but this is the problem with publishing these days. They're pushing developers past their timelines and just shipping out games, and then we get to play them like this, but it's not really hindering my enjoyment. I'm really loving Oblivion right now. And that's not all, because Xbox just dropped 2 days later Clair Obscure Expedition 33, a turn-based game made by a French team, former developers at Ubisoft, and this game has the DNA of a JRPG with its turn-based and some of its styling, but that turn-based combat is one of the things that's made it stand out above the crowd. And Clair Obscure Expedition 33 right now is a runner-up for Game of the Year. It's scoring a 92 across OpenCritic, Metacritic, and PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, and people are going crazy about this even on Steam. The numbers for the players are about a third of what we're seeing with Oblivion, with 33,000 people right now playing on Steam and 50,000 peak. But did Xbox shadow dropping Elder Scrolls Oblivion hurt the success and the players that would be on Expedition 33? Maybe it did, but really these are two totally different games. One's turn-based and one is an open world, old RPG, but there's room enough for all of these games to come out and for people to pick and choose which one they're going to play. I'm actually playing both at the same time, back and forth. Today, I spent a few hours playing each of those games. And that's the beauty of Game Pass, which we'll talk about in just a second. But the other thing about Expedition 33 is it's turn-based combat, and it's kind of making a comeback. And it makes me wonder if the old third-person, over-the-shoulder action adventure or first-person action adventure game has become passé, because right now some of the top games are not your traditional open world action adventure game. Some of them are just turn-based or real-time strategy, with some of the biggest games over the past couple of years being Baldur's Gate 3, Metaphor ReFantazio, and now Expedition 33. And these games are Game of the Year contenders or going to get Game of the Year, and they're really super popular with gaming fans. And it always makes me wonder, as we chase for that next big action adventure or that open world with organic gameplay, is that really the way gaming is always going to stay, or will it move into a new phase? Some people are saying that turn-based might be making a big comeback. Xbox Game Pass hit another milestone, and insiders are starting to report that Xbox could be as close to a 50 million subscriber count across console and PC. But I don't believe it. I actually tried to crunch the numbers, and I don't think Xbox is anywhere near 50 million. In fact, they said sometime in 2030, they want Xbox Game Pass to reach an audience of 100 million subscribers. But don't mistake this, because even with the current count they have right now, they are making over $2 to $3 billion a year in revenue, and they've already explained that it doesn't cost that much, being $3 billion, to run the service, so it is profitable. We saw last year at the beginning of 2024, the last report was that Xbox Game Pass was at 34 million subscribers, and PC Game Pass saw an uptick of 30% of subscribers that are on the PC instead of everybody, or the majority of those being on console. But then we got a report at the end of last year that Xbox Game Pass was only up 2%. That's over console and PC. I think that number could actually be closer to 40 million. I also don't think that Xbox or Microsoft will report on Game Pass numbers until they hit a major milestone like a 40 million, because I think they're well over 35 if they were at 34 last year. But I think what's most important is Xbox as a gaming platform and a publisher has spent the last 10 years with very few games and a very wide spread out cadence of releases from their studios. And now they're in that situation where they just have to cram stuff together, sometimes days or weeks apart. And my personal opinion is like, oh well, you made us wait this long, like just start dropping the games. There are plenty of different players. There are 100 million people that are playing on Xbox and PC that are looking at these games that might be in Game Pass, and they are making that choice whether they want to sub or buy the game outright or wait on something like an old classic like Oblivion or get day and date on Expedition 33. Here's the thing, that Xbox right now, if you just subscribed in January and you're only about to go into May, you're only halfway through the year, they've offered these 15 games that are available to you, and most of those are first-party games. It's really insane how much Xbox studios have held on for so long, and now there's an avalanche of games coming out. And these 15 games here I'm showing you, I would venture to guess that the majority of those look fairly desirable, with some major ones like Expedition 33, Doom: The Dark Ages, and then later on Outer Worlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden 4. It's unbelievable how much stuff is coming out, and this doesn't even count everything that's already in the service, the EA games and whatever they're going to announce at Showcase and whatever will drop in as we go month to month through the rest of the year. And then you've got the Game of the Year contenders that are sitting there like Expedition 33 and Blueprints. It's really crazy, and just imagine not having Game Pass. I think it's really changed the model. And you will hear fans, like maybe they're just PlayStation fans or they're anti-Xbox fans, that'll say, I don't need Game Pass. Oh, imagine not owning your games and renting everything. You own nothing. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you guys subscribe to several TV and movie subscriptions, so you don't even own those. But then you're going to say, well, you know, movies are $20, games are 70. What does that matter? But I think it's just a cope, because people are really excited about Game Pass and people are having a good time. And I'm finally getting that satisfaction that I really wasn't getting that Game Pass satisfaction in 2022 or most of 2023. But there's always a bad side to all the good news. There are so many games you can't even play them, even though they're practically free. If you're paying over $200 and some a year for a Game Pass and you're getting 400 games and you're getting 20 to 30 brand new ones, well, what's the catch? Well, the catch is because of PlayStation and all of the other price hikes that are going on, I would expect by the beginning of 2026, Microsoft's going to step in and raise the price of Game Pass yet again. Right now, if you want Ultimate with PC, console, cloud, and everything, that's $20 US every month. And I can see Microsoft stepping in and raising that price another $2. And even $22 is still a great value, but I hate to see that price hike. And you know when it happens, I'm going to say something, because this is a promise they gave us, a low monthly price for all of these games. Now they've grown it so big that they feel like they have to charge more. It's just not the right thing to do to your customers, and they're still charging for online this generation. I hope that changes when we move into next generation, and I think it will. And that's your gaming weekly news. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It's been a great week of big reveals for Xbox and Game Pass, and all the excitement and buzz around Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, Game Pass with Blueprints and Clair Obscure. It's been a really good time to talk about where Xbox is going, and we're getting ready for Showcase, and there is so much to look forward to. We're going to be talking about everything that they're going to reveal June 8th. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. If you want to further support what we do here on the Colteastwood channel, you can hit the join button below. That'll get you early access for videos, monthly merch giveaways, and so much more. Also, check out the Patreon. There I have tiers where you can do giveaways, the Ecstasy Club, so much more. Also, the super class, you want to learn how to do production and streaming and design and everything like that. Also, check out the Ecstasy Podcast. Meg and I will talk about the latest news, what we're playing, some of the leaks and rumors for Showcase, what's going on with Game Pass and changes, and so much more. That goes live every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And check that out on demand on Spotify and Google Podcasts if you'd like. And if you're still here, wow, you made it this far into a long video. Thank you so much. And I look at my hair. It's great. I love it. I don't know. It's just, you're going to have to get used to it. It's funny. Like a couple years ago, I got rid of my glasses. I got tired of pushing them up and cleaning them and not being able to see when I wasn't wearing them. And you guys were nice enough to say, okay, he's not wearing glasses, but I don't know. I just got tired of the hair thing, and you know, it just goes and does what it just goes, and you can't stop it. And so I decided to get this haircut, and I'm really getting used to it. Hey, and the best part was my son said when he saw me, he's like, "You look like a video game character," and I thought, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Wait, which video game? Let me know what you think of this gaming weekly news and what was the most exciting for you. If you put time into those, let me know what you thought of Clair Obscure and Oblivion. Are you going to play Marathon? Are you excited about what's coming up in 2025? Let me know in the comment section. And while you do that, as I always say, please be nice. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell if you want a new